Hey guys, what's up? Bisectatron here from OneHive Gazette, here with my next Clan Drifter video, and I am in the Swarm. Awesome clan, had a lot of fun just hanging out and seeing their attacks, and was lucky enough to even witness a war against North Remembers, which will have all the attacks from that I select will be from that war because so much good gameplay from that war I wanted to show. But anyway, we'll go through the clan, we'll talk about some information as the attacks go through, just like a typical Clan Drifter video, and I'll do my best to remember to put the links in the description for the different media outlets and information, all that good stuff if you guys want to check it out. So anyway, let's get right to it. You can see they're pretty full, about 47, so they are going to be pretty selective in their applications, which we'll talk about a little bit later as far as their requirements, but they do have some information in the description that you guys can check out right there. Anyway, they're looking at their war log. They had that close war against North Remembers, and you'll see that for the most part, they're winning all their random wars, and besides just a few matches, and they're having some very competitive arranged wars. So I think they are definitely up there with some of the top clans. They might not quite be able to beat them, but I would definitely consider them one of the top clans in that upper echelon of the game because they are hanging in there with North Remembers and some of the best war clans. So anyway, this is what we're going to look at as far as the attacks go. Quickly, let's just go through the war because it's a notable thing to take a look at how the war actually went. You can see that North Remembers got all the 11s 2-starred, and all the 10s but one, number 5 mags there, were 3-starred, and then everything below, obviously. On the other side, the Swarm did a good job, but you can see they left a number of 10s 2-starred, which is still difficult. I think even in Genesis, we're having trouble being able to basically get every 10 3-starred. It's still something that we're learning because it's such a dynamic game right now, especially at the Town Hall 10, Town Hall 11 level. There's new attacks, new bases, just that progression as each one evolving to outwit the other one. So anyway, very fun for Town Hall 10, Town Hall 11 right now. But they did a pretty good job for the most part. Got a number of 10s 3-starred. Anyway, though, we'll go ahead and get into the first attack, which is going to be number 7. This one is the Hustle. I don't mind showing an 11 taking on a 10, especially a maxed out one. I think it's still something that's worthwhile watching because it's not that easy to do. And this is what we're seeing as far as most of the Town Hall 10 3-stars are going to be dip attacks by Town Hall 11s. That's just kind of how it works right now. But anyway, as far as how old their clan is, they started back in March of 2015, and they're now a level 10 clan on their way to being level 11. A brief little history of them is that the Swarm was a group of players. They all used to belong to a war clan. They kind of split off to start their own clan. They merged with a few others named Donate and Empire. They also have a family clan called Swarm Synergy that has lower town halls and developing players, but primarily they're just going to be an adult clan that takes war seriously, but they also like to have fun, and an important part of a new member is being able to kind of fit into the culture and just the fun kind of environment in the clan. So anyway, a little bit about them as we watch this attack by the Hustle. You can see he came in from the bottom right, so was able to get to both those Infernos with the jump. Worked out very nicely, and I guess the base builder probably shouldn't have made the Infernos within one jump of each other because both of them were accessed just by that one spell. So anyway, awesome attack though to the Hustle. He had some great attacks from last war and this war. I'm not going to show any of the last wars, but he's been getting some consistent 3-stars, so always good to see from some of their top players. Anyway though, as we fast forward to the end right here, we'll move on and look at a Town Hall 10 taking on a Town Hall 10 for the 3-star, and it's going to be, looks like TB using some Valks here. So nice little change of pace from what we see, which is mainly bowlers and sometimes miners. So back to some Valks here, starting off with the Queen Walk. As far as when the clan really started doing 3-star attacks, it kind of came from started right at the beginning, as soon as the clan was formed, when everyone left the original clan. As far as what they use the app Band for offline chat. They use Skitch, Discord, and to plan attacks, and they use warmatch.us for base calling, statistics, and tracking, all that good stuff. And they recently started a base building team, and they published a war strategy, little game plan every war. So taking it very seriously, using those good tools, and I think it's definitely paying off for them, as you can see kind of in their war log. Anyway, though, this attack by TB, like how he came in with that queen right there while the kill squad's already developing, so kind of doing that simultaneously. The queen's making her way on into the base. She's going to take out that Inferno in just a moment. So it works out awesome here. Everything's on that golem, so she doesn't need a rage or anything. And as soon as that Inferno goes down, she'll be healed back up. In come the Valks, and just really nice planning. I like how the bowlers go around the outside here. They still get pretty solid value. They keep the Valks inside the base, which is very important. You can see right there the Valks will get in there, get that second Inferno, and at that point this base is in trouble because it's mainly Town Hall 9 defenses, and there's still the Queen with all her healers, the Bowlers with their healers, and still a few Valks and the King left up in the middle. So awesome stuff. As this attack finishes up, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the other information that they gave us. As far as how often they run the war, it's pretty much nonstop, with occasional rest days for arranged wars and potlucks for those planned search times, and also they'll reset every once in a while, which will give a few hours off. But anyway, pretty much a nonstop war clan, which you'll see is a common theme from most of these clans that I visit. So definitely a clan for people who love to participate in war. Their wars are about 30v30 typically, because you have to have both your heroes, and sometimes people don't want to gem them, just let them run their course and sit out of war for a week or so. But sometimes they get up to 40-40 if some new members come in, and right now you can see they're pretty big on numbers, so maybe a little bit bigger. But as you guys know, there's no longer 35v35, so unfortunately it's going to be either 30 or 40, and some members might get left out if they have like 38 people that are willing to be in the war, so can't quite fill the 40. But anyway, pretty solid numbers, definitely makes for some fun wars. Anyway, we'll go ahead and fast forward to the end of this attack and move on to the next one, which will be the first Town Hall 9 attack. Okay, number 15, we're looking at John Abruzzi, and you guys are going to see quite a few air attacks, I think like 3 of them, just because I think these guys had some great vision in their planning. They were able to really see bases that sometimes we don't see this way anymore. Kind of like we used to see, okay, the air defenses are in that position. I can come in there, take those out, and use air troops on the backside of the base. Sometimes attackers at Town Hall 9 don't see that. They're looking for HGHB, for Valks, for those ground attacks. But a lot of times these bases really open themselves up to be hit by an air composition. So it comes in with a nice max attack with the Quakes, the Rage, the Heal, and he'll just kind of make his way through the base. He'll get, actually, I think 3 of these 4 Infernos, almost gets all, or not Infernos, air defenses, almost gets all 4 of them, but doesn't matter. He needs the Lava Hounds to bust anyway, so it works out great. But gets pretty deep into this base, a lot of value for this kill squad. Already starting in with the balloons, the golem, or not the golem, the Lava Hound. Come on, here we go. Already starting in with the air part of the attack, everything moving through, and the Teslas are going to do a little bit of damage, but has the haste, has quite a few balloons in that area to take out all those buildings, and not really in any bit of a rush because he has 2 air defenses for just 1. He has 2 Lava Hounds for just 1 air defense. That's a rough video. Or actually, I think he has 3. I think, yeah, he had 3 Lava Hounds for just 1 air defense. So has plenty of tanking. The balloons are in no hurry. Works out nicely, and right there, the second one pops. The third one will just kind of hang out for the rest of the attack. Pops the Queen's ability. This one's over. As he cleans up, we'll go ahead and keep moving. As far as arranged wars go, they started doing arranged wars about a few months ago. Sometimes they do scrimmages or other joint wars outside the clan with other clans and stuff. Just some good fun wars. They've also done a few potlucks, which, as you guys know, is when a bunch of clans search at once. So you get a random matchup, typically with a good clan, which is always fun to do because you don't know quite who you're going to match, and that's something they want to do in the future. So they do basically an arranged war or a potluck every 1 to 2 weeks, and that's what they're planning on doing in the future. And one notable thing is they started the Fair Play Alliance, FPA, which is a place for other Fair Play war clans to network and arrange wars with each other. So very cool stuff, and it's awesome that they've started this because That's really what Clash of Clans needs, is more of these fair play alliances and stuff like that, of clans that are high level competitive fair play war clans getting together and having some fun in some arranged wars. Always good to see. So they're a big part of that. Anyway, though, we're moving on to the next attack, and this is another one where I didn't like looking at this base. You wouldn't necessarily think air. I mean, maybe you would as a Town Hall 9, but I think a lot of attackers might overlook that. But it definitely opens itself up to air if you look at it from this perspective. Does another max attack. This is a John Abruzzi again, but I wanted to show this because it's just another way to looking at the base and choosing the right army composition to take it out. So anyway, comes on in with the typical kill squad. The king is going a little wacky, drops down a quick little funnel there, wants to make sure the king goes in the base because it looked like he was going to walk. Actually, never mind, he does walk. Okay. He tried to save it, couldn't quite get the job done there. But the queen will aggro the king. On the other side, his queen's moving in. She'll get an air defense taken out. There's the rage. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the queen with the king, but no big deal. His queen's making her way through. Not a whole lot of defenses targeting her, and the golem's doing most of the tanking. Pops her ability. She'll get a few of those Teslas taken out, and actually, I didn't quite see what took the queen out. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Somehow the queen went down. Wasn't quite as pretty. Would have been a lot easier if the king went inside the base. So it wasn't really anything with the plan. Just couldn't quite execute the funnel properly. But doesn't end up being too big of an issue. And one awesome thing about these like max attacks is not only you're getting the 2 air defenses usually in the queen, you're also taking out such a big part of the base, which makes it so easier on your balloons for their pathing. Just makes it much easier to get the job done on the back half of the base. And you can see right here, still has a ton of troops left up. That lava hound just sitting around. 2 lava hounds actually just have nothing to do because they've all the air defenses have gone down. So anyway, gets a little more taking out of them before the balloons close in on these last few defenses. Awesome attack. Both attacks to John Abruzzi. Let's keep moving along to the next attack. Okay, I actually have quite a few, so I'm going to try to space out the rest of the information a little better. Kind of did too much in the beginning, so we'll just focus on some of the attacks for a little while. Let's see, 21. Adam. This one was another air attack. Don't worry, I'll get the ground attacks in just a moment, but this is the last air attack we're going to look at just because I really liked it. Creative use of the kill squad to get in there, get the queen, get an air defense for pretty cheap value. Just that one golem, a few wizards, and his heroes. Goes ahead and wall breakers in. That's for the queen right there, so she can get that air defense taken out. The king's job is just to get the queen. The wizards help out with the CC troops. They get the baby dragon down, and from here, everything's set for the queen just to walk her way in, take out that cannon, then get in there and get that air defense taken out. So it gets the job of a typical kill squad, being the queen, the CC troops, and the 1 air defense, plus gets a few Teslas as bonus, and I think a few other defensive buildings, and then he'll go ahead and start with the air part of the attack. So just has to wait for the queen, nothing's on her, and yep, good war to Alpha, I think is what that said. Pops her ability just to speed things up. Boom, the air defense is down. Now you can start the air part of the attack. There goes the Lava Hound, another Lava Hound to reinforce the haste spell, which will keep everything moving along. Luckily, he's coming in behind that first air sweeper, so that won't be an issue. The other one is kind of pointing in that direction, but he will kind of sneak around it to some extent. He's not going that deep into the base, so it's not going to be a factor. Has the rage to keep those balloons moving, and a bunch of archer towers, but luckily they're all near those air defenses, so they're going to be focused on the lava hounds for the most part, which is perfect. The balloons won't be touched for the most part, and everything moving through with that next rage. Still has 1 more rage left to deploy, so crush this base. Awesome attack to Adam as these last few defenses go down. You can see that air sweeper now is starting to push things back, but they still have the rage for a moment after they leave it, and there's only 2 defenses left up anyway besides the air sweeper, so just a matter of time. We'll go ahead and fast forward ×4. As far as some of the requirements, let's go ahead and take a look at that as we transition attacks right here. For a Town Hall 9 that's a little lower in weight, they'll take 15-15 heroes, but for max defense Town Hall 9, they're looking more of 20-20 plus. So definitely depends on the weight of the base, but they seem to be taking pretty much competitive level heroes, as they are one of the top war clans that you see. So anyway, moving along, we'll take a look at some ground attacks as we wrap this up. Have two more for you guys, and had to show an HGHB, obviously. But anyway, for Town Hall 10, they're looking for non-rushed bases, 30 plus heroes, and I assume as you get closer to being a max Town Hall 10 defensive-wise, they hope that your heroes would probably follow and also start to get close to max. So keep that in mind. But Town Hall 11, 40 heroes they're looking for, in level 10 Warden. So that's going to be what you'll see as kind of the baseline. But detailed requirements are on a video that I'll link in the description, hopefully. And they're especially interested now in Town Hall 10, since a bunch of theirs recently went to Town Hall 11. So they have that gap there. But of course, they'll take 9s or 11s as well. Don't seem to be big on Town Hall 8s, but you can check out the website. I don't want to put words in their mouth. Anyway, though, they'll also be open to talk with other clans about looking to merge into their war clan, because they feel that with a few more solid players, they can compete with the best clans out there, which I think is definitely evident in their attacks, in their war log that I've seen. I think that they're competing with the top war clans. They're just not quite winning at a high percentage. But the fact that they're up there and taking on, I don't know, war whales, I think I saw. Now you can see North members. They're up there. They're within just a few stars of these clans. I think they're just on the verge of kind of asserting themselves as one of these top clans. But I definitely consider them a very high level war clan, as just by being able to compete with these top clans and be able to crush pretty much any clan in a random matchup. It shows that. So anyway, keep going through these notifications as this attack finishes up. Segan still has one heal left. And the great thing about HGHB is you still have your heroes usually near the end of the attack, which are definitely a good asset to have. Still has a few hogs and then the heal. So plenty of stuff to take out the space. Crushed it. Awesome attack to troll. Go ahead and go ×2 just for the sake of time. ×4, and we'll wrap this thing up. Okay, one more attack, then I'm gonna just give you guys a quick some information, and then we'll wrap this up. Number 29. Let's see here. James taking on 29 and does a double jump, which is something I wanted to show because we don't see it that much. A little bit of a throwback. I think this war was a little bit of a blast from the past for me, because I saw a lot of attacks that I don't see as much in Genesis anymore, but it seems like they definitely realized the value in using some of these older attacks because they fit some of the newer bases. But we saw, HGHB, Valks, all the usual stuff, as you can see in this attack. Anyway, though, as this goes on, one more thing is that they do have some places you can find them. The Swarm, coc.weebly.com, youtube.com/the Swarm, and Twitter @theswarmhq. I'll put all that in the description. But one thing I want to emphasize is check out their YouTube channel, because they have a pretty funny intro, like channel trailer, when you just go to the channel for new people. You know how that video starts playing automatically? They have a pretty funny one. I checked it out because the application iMovie, I think, has these templates for horror movies, and they used one of those for their for their intro. So it's kind of a Clash of Clans horror movie type thing. So check that out, and if you like what you see, even start watching some of their actual videos too, because I think they're pretty good as well. But just kind of a funny thing you guys might want to check out. So anyway, in the description, like I said. But this one's finishing up. You can see just a pretty standard double jump. At the beginning, one thing I wanted to say is probably didn't need to use the wall breakers, because the jump could have just reached to the outside if you dropped it a little farther out. So it could have saved a little bit of troop space there. But besides that, pretty sound attack. And you can see the hogs don't make their way through the entire base, but look at all the Valks he has left up. Unfortunately, they're going the wrong way, but the queen is there with the Golemite, so she'll make her way through, and go ahead and fast forward to the end. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did mention I wanted to tell you guys there's going to be a Q&A coming up, so start dropping some questions in the description, or in the comments, of the next few videos. I'll keep reminding you guys over a few more days, but wanted to get that out here today. So if you have any questions you want me to answer, put them in the comments, and make sure to mark them Q&A. so I know that you want me to wait till I can actually give a longer answer besides just typing one up. So put a Q&A next to it and let me know what your questions are. And as always, like the ones that you want me to answer, because the more likes means the more likely I'll answer it. So I'll remind you guys again later, but go ahead and start working on that. Anyway, though, the Swarm, great plan. Just a few good players, maybe a few improvements away from being wanted like the Northview members, being up here with Genesis, because I think they are a top level war clan. They're just not quite on the winning half, but definitely worth checking out. Very fun group of people, and enjoyed my time here. So big shout out to them for letting me stay all the way through the Northview members war. Because originally I wasn't going to stay that long, but they got the match, and I wanted to show all these awesome attacks. So anyway, check them out. Links are in the description. I'll see you guys later. Hope you're liking the series. Bisectatron out.